heard that y'all are out here listening to TikTok influencers when it comes to your health and wellness, and I just can't have that. I'm Dr. Erica R. Jones, MD. I'm a board certified family medicine physician, and I just really want to sit here and talk to you all for a second about this. Are you literally listening to TikTok influencers when it comes to your health, your wellness, your fitness, and all the things? When's the last time you made an actual doctor's appointment to talk about your health and wellness? Now, I understand sometimes the doctor's appointments are rushed and sometimes you might not always get answers, but I really want to know, are y'all really scrolling on TikTok for quick fixes and things like that? Because I heard that y'all are. I heard that there are millions of people under 50 who are getting their health advice from influencers instead of doctors. And the even more wild part is that a lot of them trust a stranger with a ring light more than someone like me with an actual medical degree. So I'm asking y'all a very scary question. Why do people trust TikTok more than doctors now? And what is that doing to our actual health and wellness? It's like, what happens when the TikTokers are able to influence you to do some things that aren't the best for your body? And then we have to come back and fix them. So I want you to stick around because I'm going to talk to you about some real TikTok health advice that I ran past some actual physicians. And y'all, let's just say they weren't exactly impressed. You know, these days there's so many health and wellness supplements that are on the market that are promising you, the ability to help you feel more relaxed or help you feel more talkative or outgoing. And it's just wild to me. Now, let me tell you, I've, possibly Googled a weird symptom at 2 a.m. and, tried different supplements, but I also am a professional, and I also talk to professionals about things like the gut health drinks, the sleep hacks, and then all these other things, that promise to make every problem in your life disappear. Trust me, as physicians, as nurses, as healthcare providers, we are talking about these things too, right? But there's just some things that are way too outrageous for you to be trying. And let me just tell you, here's the problem. The creator that you're watching, they might be like a certified expert, or they might have called themselves doc, or maybe someone who read a blog post. They know how to edit a video. And I get it. Sometimes y'all can't tell the difference, especially when people are calling themselves doctors and they don't have any actual medical credentials. But I want you to think about the experience difference. It's one of those things where you say, the doctor's office might take me weeks to get in. I might have to fill out forms and, sit in the waiting room for a while. But TikTok is going to give me an instant answer, some pretty aesthetic, some uplifting music, and something fancy where I healed my entire life in 30 days. And then, of course, we're going to gravitate to what feels good. But I want you to understand that you have to be able to get real life information. Now, let me talk about the algorithm. Platforms are not ranking videos by the most accurate information. What are they ranking them by? The most engaging, the most enraging, right? So the most controversial videos, that's what is going to pop up on the top of your timeline. So the most dramatic health stories are going to rise to the top. Now, I try not to be boring as I sit here and talk to you, but if somebody posts, hey, I cured my chronic illness in 7 days, that's going to beat. Studies suggest gradual improvement over months. That's just how it goes. Simple, bold claims beat nuanced, boring explanations. So, even if you personally never search for health hacks, if you stop scrolling for one dramatic wellness video, the algorithm is going to go, oh, you like that? And it's going to send you out some more. And then suddenly your feed is going to be full of miracle cures and aesthetics labeled as healing and nervous system regulation. And over time, that's going to create an illusion. So if your entire feed says everyone is fixing their health with this trend, it might feel true even when it's not. So you really have to pay attention to who is giving you information about your health and wellness. And I also want you to stop buying supplements from the internet. If you think you might need a supplement, talk to your doctor about it, right? Surveys in the last couple of years are showing that a huge chunk of people under 50 are literally getting their wellness advice from social influencers, not from clinicians or health sites. So I just want to challenge you, if you're going to get advice from people on the internet, at least let it be someone with credentials like myself or some of my other colleagues that are taking the time to post real videos, real health advice on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, right? So what I want you to understand is that your doctor is going to give you real advice that is backed by evidence, okay? These influencers out here, you don't know where this information is coming from. So that is very, very important. So here's the big meta story that almost no one is talking about. People are quietly replacing traditional medicine authority with like this algorithmic authority, which is weird. And it's not what does your doctor say, but like what does my For You page say? I just think that that's weird. Do you not think that that's weird? Like, why are we so ready to trust an influencer with our bodies, with our minds? And when does it cross a line from empowering to dangerous? That's what I want you to think about. So let's break down what's actually going on here, and then we'll talk about some actual TikTok health advice, that I've reacted to, and some of the things that actually scare me. Because why are we trusting TikTok and Instagram more than doctors now? People are wondering, like, why are the doctors showing up on social media? And Dr. Jones, like, why do you have a YouTube page and all these other things? It's because I actually have a medical degree that I earned. I went through a residency program, and I have the training to talk about the things. More proof, more accountability. But I gotta admit, the influencers are winning at certain things. Let's talk about storytelling. Now, doctors, we're trained to talk to patients. We're trained to diagnose and treat medical conditions. Influencers are trained by the algorithm. They're trained to tell you these compelling stories. So instead of your lab results suggest X, you get, well, I was exhausted, anxious, bloating, and nothing worked until I tried this one simple thing. And it's not just information. They're actually very skilled at creating these little mini movies, and our brains love that. So I have to decide, like, okay, well, maybe I should be a better storyteller, right? Well, that takes a lot of time too. And a clinic can be intimidating, right? But an influencer in their kitchen talking, this, talking how you talk. They have time to answer the comments, and you don't have to book them through a receptionist. They're on your phone 24/7. They are probably more accessible. I get it. If you are scrolling on your lunch break, whose advice are you more likely to consume? The PDF from your insurance portal or the 30-second quick fix on anxiety? I get it. So then you have the issue of validation instead of confrontation. Like a doctor might tell you something that you don't want to hear. Like, hey, you need to sleep more. Hey, you need to walk more. You need to exercise more. You need to drink less alcohol. You need to manage your stress. And an influencer will say, oh, it's not your habits, it's your hormones, or it's your gut, not you. And a lot of times that might feel better for you. So just understand that you actually have to look at the root cause of what's going on with your health and wellness. You can't just go to the quick fix that an influencer on TikTok is going to offer you. Here's the hidden problem that a lot of people don't talk to you about as far as influencers are concerned. It's not just that some of the advice that they give is wrong. It's that we're slowly changing what healthcare really even means, right? If your first instinct is to open up an app like TikTok and figure out what's going on instead of talking to a doctor, then you actually have to understand that you might be going in the wrong direction, right? You need to talk to people who are qualified, right? So telemedicine exists. You can actually open up an app and be able to talk to a doctor, right? Understand that if you have insurance, you can look on the back of your insurance card and look for a number to access telehealth. So don't be afraid to pick up your phone for information. Just understand that you can actually pick up your phone and talk to a licensed health professional. There are so many different websites or apps, and I'm not telling you to never watch another wellness video on TikTok. Social platforms can absolutely help you discover questions to ask, habits to try, and then concepts to research. That's why I'm here. But I just want you to understand that you have to take everything with a grain of salt when you are listening to influencers. Here's some framework that you can use. Ask yourself, who is this person? What type of credentials do they have? And what has their lived experience been? Then I want you to ask, well, what do they have to gain if I believe them? Are they selling a product, a program, or a supplement? And then you think about, well, would I be comfortable giving this advice to a friend that I know that has a serious condition without consulting a medical professional first? Now, if the answer is going to be absolutely not, you probably don't want to test it on yourself either. We really need to cherish our health and wellness and try to stay away from the trendy things that most likely are not going to be beneficial for us. And you can talk to your doctor about the things that might possibly be beneficial. Your body doesn't care about views. Understand that. It cares about what you are doing to make sure that it's functioning properly, right? Now, if you want me to do a follow-up video where I take on some of your favorite viral health trends and then walk through what the research actually says, make sure you drop that in the comments, right? So I might consider doing like a genius or garbage series just based on your suggestions. So hit like if this made you rethink at least one thing that you might have heard on TikTok, and share this video with the friend who sends you every wellness hack, right? I'm Dr. Erica R. Jones, MD. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician that's here to help you along your healthcare journey and break down some of the complex topics into something that you understand better.